Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Wade.
I'm Dani, and today we're giving you a tour of our van.
We've been living in our van for 7 months with our 2 cats. You might see one back here. We've been traveling around Australia. We started in Sydney, and then we'll give you a little update on the map behind us as well. So we're going to go through everything in our van, the reason why we put things in, and hopefully it can help anyone else that is building a van. Yeah, so I think let's get into it.
Let's go.
So our van is a 2017 Mercedes Sprinter long wheelbase high roof. The reason why we went for the long wheelbase is so we could fit the shower in and have a little bit more extra storage. And the reason for the high roof was so we could stand fully. We've hired camper vans in the past and not been able to stand up, and it's super uncomfortable. We knew when we were purchasing this that we wanted a high roof. We had to live in it full time. We wanted to be comfortable. So let's start at the front of the van. We'll start with the cabin. So here on the passenger side, we keep all of our thongs in here with sunscreen and some mozzie repellent. I have actually seen people, this comes off here, and people have been hiding shoes in there, but I think my shoes and probably your shoes are too big, so maybe you gotta have small feet, I don't know. We have Dani's hat on the front there, and up in here, this side we have a couple more hats, and then on this side we have 2 first aid kits. And we also store, when we're inside here, we keep most like our shoes to keep it out of the way. So there's some like Ugg boots that we don't wear during the day. I think that's it for the front. So on the side here, the fridge is on the other side of that. We'll get into that part later. But we made this a chalkboard, and we decided to put the map of Australia. So we have started in Sydney. We've come all the way up. We went out to here to the outback, back to the coast, went to Cooktown, cut down through here, down to, I think this is NT, Alice Springs, Uluru, and then we had to cut back to Sydney for a wedding. And now we have headed south, went to Melbourne, and now we're almost on the South Australia border. I think we need to fill in a little bit here. We haven't done that part. And then on the bottom here, we keep our rags, and we roll up this little mat that I'm standing on at the moment. We throw up in there. So before we jump in, let's run over our diesel heater that we have under the passenger seat. It's a Chinese diesel heater from eBay. We've only had it for about a month, so the first 6 months of our travel, we had no heater. It hasn't given us any issues. Super happy with it, and so glad we've installed it because we've had some cold nights still. Now that we're south and it's winter. But I did have a little heart attack when we installed it. The exhaust is just under here. There was so much smoke coming out of it. I thought there was a fire, something was going on, but all good. Apparently it's normal, and super happy that we have it installed. Because we installed the heater as an afterthought, we had to put the controller pretty much right next to the heater, but this works well for us. It comes with a remote, so can't complain.
Now let's go inside. It's time to introduce you to our cats. This is Gatinha. Gatinha means little cat in Portuguese, because I'm from Brazil. She's the little explorer. She just came back inside, and that's why this is the perfect time to introduce her to you. And Jon Snow, he doesn't like to leave the van too much. He just came back from under the blankets. Because we travel with our 2 cats, we had to adapt the van to include things as their kitty litter, for example. And the best place that we found to have that was in between the passenger and the driver's seat. So we created this box that has a lid on the top, and we always keep the lid closed for when we're driving, and we keep things such as our books and maps, sunnies in here, water bottles when we're driving, and then as soon as we park somewhere, we remove the lid, and underneath you have the kitty litter. For the kitty litter, we just used a plastic box that we already had at home, and they were used to it. They jumped from the top. We just cut it to measure to fit the box, and this is working really well. They both use the same box, and it's perfect. On both seats, we have this seat cover with extra storage. As you guys probably can imagine, living in a van, every single place matters. So here on the passenger seat, we keep all of our cats things like harnesses, leads, toys, and under the seat we keep their food bowls. Now the passenger seat does swivel to give us that extra seating room, and we try to swivel every time we park somewhere nice that we can have this flip up table that will give us extra working space or just bench space. We'll talk more about the kitchen later. Behind the driver's seat we also have some stuff in the cover, behind the cover, but behind it we keep our table that is mounted on a lagoon, but Wade will explain more about that. We asked Wade's mom to do this curtain for us to separate the drive in the cabin from the back, so when we park somewhere and for privacy we just close the curtain. It's just on a string with these metal thingies. And then one thing that we had to do for the curtain was to cut this little square so the cats can access their kitty litter overnight. Our van did not come with an overhead storage, so we built our own, and this is super handy to have. It fits, it's huge. There's things inside that go all the way to the front, so it keeps a lot of our stuff in there. So we have a lid, and in it we have all of our winter clothes that need to be handy at the moment because it's cold, all of our clean sheets and towels.
So next up we built this cupboard here. So on this side we have all of our like deodorant, nail stuff, and kind of like just personal hygiene type things. Then we have our books in the middle here and a few other little bits and pieces, which is kind of nice. Have like a little bit of a bookshelf going on. This side we have Dani's makeup, our medicines, and bits and pieces like that. Then as we're moving down, we created these little cutouts here. We weren't sure at the time what we're going to do with them, so we ended up putting some photos. We want to add more photos to it over time, but which is kind of nice. Then this is our bench seat. So we have dinner here, we work from here, and just kind of hang out and just look at the beautiful view. The reason why we put this one here, and some people put it in the middle, but we wanted to be able to sit here and enjoy the view, and that's the reason why the shower is onto my left. Underneath the bench seat, we store, it's a bit of a bomb to be honest, don't judge. We have some of these coffee pods, we have a microwave down in here. This is our blockouts for the windows, we'll run over those a bit later. We have a blender, some drinks, and just kind of like a double ups of bits and pieces. It's just a bit of a storage. It just turns into a mess. Our table sits behind here. We decided to go with the lagoon mount, which seems to be pretty common in the caravans and camper vans. Everyone seems to go for that. So we keep it there when we don't need it. We pull it out when we do and just slide it on and kind of have it however we like. We can also, so like, if we can have it like this, and the person sitting there can use this as a workspace and still be able to get through. We can have it here if we like, and it's a good workspace, and another person can sit here, flip it up, and it becomes another little workspace, which is handy so we can both work from here and get to see the beautiful views.
It's time to show you our bathroom. So in it we have a shower with hot and cold water. We have a self-cleaning shower curtain. So like when you open, and then when you close, there is a mechanism inside that leaves all the water inside so it doesn't create mold or anything like that. We have a composting toilet, and it's a Nature's Head composting toilet, and the way it works is it separates, there's a pee bucket and a poop compartment so they don't mix up together. Our pee bucket, because we drink a lot of water, we have to empty it almost every day, and the poop, it can last up to 4 weeks. When we clean our toilet, we put some composting material in it, so every time we poop, we then mix everything. There is a mixer in the toilet, so you don't need to actually touch it. Nice, and it doesn't smell at all. We have heaps of hooks in it to keep our towels hanging in, and if we go to the beach and have wet causes, this is where we hang them. On the other side is where we keep our shampoos, conditioners, soap, everything else, and there's a little bit more on the floor because I have a lot for my hair. Another thing that we do that I think is different from what other van lifers do is we actually have a bin to keep our toilet paper. So because I'm from South America, this is common practice there. The sewage system in Brazil, at least, is not made for toilet paper, so no one puts their dirty toilet paper in the bowl to flush it. And by keeping that toilet paper separate in a bin, it makes our composting material last longer, so we don't have to clean the poop part as often.
Start with the kitchen. Our bench top is just a bench top from Bunnings, nothing too special, and then just sanded and sealed it. We have this flip up section here which gives us extra cutting space, and also for this person we went over before, gives them another office area. Up the top here is our first sliding drawer where we keep bits and pieces of our pens and just a bit of a mess, some mozzie stuff, some pegs and bits and pieces. Underneath that we have our fridge. We decided to go for the Bushman 130 litre fridge, upright fridge. We had done camping in the past as well, and we had the traditional camping style ones where you just lift up the lid, but everything under the bottom kind of got a little bit messy and lost. So we decided to go for an upright. You might not get as much space, but it's much more convenient to get things in and out. It's perfect for the both of us. I wouldn't go any smaller for two of us, and it would be nice to have the freezer just slightly bit bigger. Moving along, we've got our top drawer. Now I think that everyone in the world, these 4 drawers are gonna be the same. You ready for this? Top drawer is knives and forks, cables, we have a dongle here, the SSD drive, and cables for the computer. Maybe not that part, but knives and forks, definitely. Next drawer becomes the bits and pieces drawer. So your knives, spoons, and all that type of things. Next drawer is the plates, some cups, little coffee maker, some wine cups here. Everything is in plastic too because we do break stuff. And then the bottom drawer, we have Tupperware, coffee mugs, and that's it. Moving along up to the top, we have a sink, a faucet, and we also have filtered water. So it's just a sink. We got these 2 actually from eBay, and it's been perfect. It's an average size sink, it's nothing too special, and a nice faucet that you can pull it down, and it also has this level, and then you can have like just this type of pressure. We also decided to go for filtered water. We don't know where we're getting water from half the time. We just find a tap, we fill up our tank, so not to risk it, we filter our water. It's a 3-stage water system, sits underneath the bench. Underneath the sink, we have a bin that's on Velcro, so we can take it off, and it's super handy just to be able to, it swings open with the door. At the moment, we usually keep like bread, so we have some buns in here, the boom, 2 pots and pans at the back. We have the cat food, the drone, and then just the green bags for when we go shopping. And behind that is also the filtered water system, the 3-stage filter. On the other side, we have a hanging rack for the tea towel. We got plastic bags, we've got aluminium foil, Glad wrap, and then we've got some cleaning products. We have another drawer with food. So the bigger food, we've got almond milk, some wraps, some cereal, and then underneath that we keep our toaster, our jug. This is a pretty cool jug. We used to heat up water with a cooktop and a pan. Pain in the ass. But maybe about a month in, we bought this little foldable jug. It hardly uses any power, and it folds down to this tiny little thing. Beautiful. So that's it for this side. Moving up, we got this guy from eBay as well. It's just to hold our paper towel. Then we have like a spice rack section here. We hang our keys here, and then our jars with like yeast, coconut powder, cinnamon, stuff like that. Above, this is some more food. This is our main food sections here. So we have like salt, we have breakfast things here, some Vegemite. You gotta have Vegemite in Australia. Some biscuits, bits and pieces. Here's some more breakfast and some snacks. And then next to that is our main kind of control panel for the electrical. We turn on and off the lights here. We have some USB, the Victron energy management system. We don't use this very often. We use the app more than we use this. And this is our freshwater side. We don't have the grey water side hooked up, but we have the freshwater. It's about 50%. Our freshwater tank is 110 litres. It sits underneath the van on this side, on the driver's side. And then on the other side, we have a grey water tank, which sits just underneath the sliding door. It's just 150mm PVC pipe. It's about a metre, 2 metres long, which gives us about 40 litres of grey water. For the lights, we didn't put switches everywhere around the van to use them. So it's just the main switches are here. So we got these controllers. So to turn on and off the lights, we have one here. We have one under the passenger seat. And then at the back, just where Gacchini is, above her is another one. So when we're in bed, we can turn on and off the lights. If we're in the kitchen, we can turn on and off the lights. And if we're at the front, we can turn on and off the lights, which is super handy. And not have to have wires running everywhere. which may have been a mistake on our part because we didn't put any in. The splashback we've just, so it's just it's plywood behind this, and these are actually stick-on tiles from, I believe, Tic Tac tiles. I was gonna say TikTok. Tic Tac tiles. I like them, super easy to install. Obviously they're light, easy done. And then we have our 240 volt, which we'll go a little bit deeper in when we do the electrical stuff, which is underneath the bed. And on this side is, we keep our computers. We have Dani's clothes. You'll realize that Dani has a lot of clothes. And we didn't talk about our cooktop actually. So we have more pots and pans here. We have a gas cooktop, but our main use cooktop is, we have a portable, oh, hey buddy. We use a portable induction cooktop that we plug in, and it's also super handy that if you want to cook outside, just run an extension lead and you can cook outside with your cooktop.
Now I'm gonna show you our bedroom. So first up is our bed, which is also the cat's bed for most of the time. We made a mistake when building the van. We thought we could sleep sideways, but I could, but weight doesn't fit. I'm about 169 centimeters, weight is about 183. We thought he could sleep diagonal, but then I would have this much room to sleep on, and that wasn't comfortable at all. So we adapted a little bit the bed for us to comfortably sleep. So what we do at night is we just move the fruit basket out of the way, and then we have an extension, like a cushion extension that we just put it down here. We put this sticky thing underneath so it doesn't slide out. So we have this on this side, and then on top of the cabinet that Wade just showed you, we have this that we never take it off. So that's kind of where my feet goes. So I sleep kind of like here, and then Wade on this side, and that's been working really well for us. We sleep really, really comfortable. And then on this top cabinet, I have all of my cozies, beachwear, undies, bras, and socks. And we keep all of our clothes in these little bags, so it's easy to find and also keep it organized. We had to build these little steps because the bed is super high, and you'll see why when we show you our garage. So we built these steps to get in and out of the bed, and they work really well. We have two more overhead cabinets on top of the bed, and this is where we keep most of our clothes. So Wade has a whole side, and I have half of one. He has another half here. You can see the messy part is where his clothes are. He's not very organized. But I do have a lot more room than he has for clothes because I just have more clothes. Next to the bed, we have the heater remote control, so we can turn the heater on and off from the bed. Like Wade said before, we also have in here one of the remote controls for the lights, so we can turn the lights for the whole van on and off from the bed without having to get up. And the same curtain that we have in the front to separate the cabin from the rest of the van, we have at the back, so we can keep this closed if we don't want people to see inside, but most of the time it's open so we can enjoy the views.
So a common question that we get asked when traveling with the cats is like, how do we keep them cool when we're traveling with them? And one of the solutions is that we installed these max air fans. We have one here, and then we also have one at the back above the bed. Generally, we have this one turned on to suck air out, and then the other one will be to blow air in, and it kind of creates this circulating effect and keeps everything nice and cool. But another bonus of having one here is that when you're cooking, you can also suck the air out, and it sucks out all of the fumes, all the cooking, and doesn't kind of make your fan smell too much, which is super helpful. And we also have the Sirocco fan above our heads. We keep it on with the cats as well, but at nighttime it keeps us nice and cool. And we have the window that we can slide open. If we're leaving the cats inside the van and it's kind of warm, we'll put our blockouts up. We'll go through the blockouts a bit later, just to reflect the sun and keep everything nice and cool inside. So we have pretty dark tint on our windows, which is perfect during the day. But as soon as it turns nighttime, the tint doesn't matter anymore. So we made up these blockouts. So at nighttime, we can have the lights on. We have like blockout material on one side. Then in the middle, we have the silver reflective type stuff. And then we have the blockout material again on the other side that we went for black. And then we went for magnets around the sides, so we can just quickly snap it into place. Obviously at night time we'll make it a much tidier so that no one can see us outside as well if we were doing any stealth camping, which is super handy. And then we would close this up. So this also helps a lot with the cats and keeping the heat out, and for us too, is keeping the van cool. Welcome to our garage. This is the back of our van, obviously. Here we have our clothes basket. So when the doors are closed, we throw our clothes from the back, hits the window, it falls into the basket most of the time. On the top here, we have 3 boxes. We'll run over those in a second. Here in the bottom, we have a drawer system that holds, we've got our water tap, like a hose, some chairs, tools, some more tools, a backpack, and some towels on this side. We also made this so they had to pull out dividables so you can make it bigger. That's for here. And then underneath, we also have a table. And I'm not 100% sure on the weight limit of this, but we can sit down and we can have food outside, or if we like, we can sit on it and it will hold probably both of our weights. I'm not 100% sure on the weight limit, but I want to say around like 200 kilos, I think. So moving on to the boxes up the top here, our first box has shoes that we don't use very often. The next box has cleaning products that we don't use as well, and then the last box has tools. The tools that we don't use very often, but it's handy to have on the road if you ever get yourself in a bit of a pickle. To keep it into place, we have some angles on both sides, and then on the front here, we're trying to figure out a way for it not to slide forward. So we made this blocking piece with this with wing nuts, and I'm not sure what you call these, kind of like threaded things into the timber, holds it into place. Just up here we have an outdoor shower. We have the mixer here, and then the shower head is inside here. We just hook that up, stick it onto the window, and you can have an outdoor shower. On this side we keep a foldable table when we're not using this one. And we keep in there, we've got an axe, a compressor, and the hot water tank. The 10-litre Duetto hot water tank sits in there as well. So we forgot to mention when we're doing the part of the shower is that we can both shower with the 10 litres, but you got to turn on the water, wet yourself, turn off the water, soap up, turn back on the water, wash off the soap, and it's definitely not enough hot water for Dani to wash her hair, or probably not even enough water for me to wash my hair and then someone else to have a shower. We made our bed really high because our original idea is that we wanted to bring bikes for this trip. We decided not to. It's been 7 months. We haven't had the need to use bikes or anything like that, but now it just provides us with lots of storage. We have all these boxes and just heaps of storage. And we have a curtain here, so if we pull up somewhere and we want to keep this the back doors open and we're not paying too much attention back here, we do like to keep this closed so no one can see what's in there and just kind of come up, grab things that they want and kind of run off. So we keep this closed when it's open. We do have a light switch here. It's an LED strip that runs across the top. There used to be one that ran across the middle, but unfortunately it broke, so we've got to fix that one up. Then this is our main storage compartment. We've got like an air fryer, we've got a couple of beers, a jerry can, the cat's kitty litter, and all of the kind of main storage sits on this side. And then on the left side here is the electrical panel. This is our electrical panel. This is where everything happens for our electrical stuff. We have a little helper here. Come here. So in here, on this side here, so it's just one panel, and then all of the cabling we hid behind this panel here so you don't see it. Here we have all of the fuses. So the fuse are going to the battery at the front of the cards for the solar. Here we have the switches for the 240 volt and another power point here. And then just on the other side of the van, we have another power point. So when we want to plug into a caravan park or for someone's house and we want to plug into their 240, we can charge our batteries as well. Here's like a main isolator switch so we can turn everything off. We have our bus bars. We covered them up just in case if something was to fall over, short them out. It just needs some good protection. Here we have two 200 amp Solar King batteries. So we got a total of 400 amp lithium, which has been pretty good for us. We have a EnerDrive DC to DC charger. And on the roof, we have 370 watt solar panels, which also charges the battery. And another way to also charge the battery is when we are driving. But it's only been, I think, once that we've had to plug into power to recharge our batteries. We had rain for like a week and we didn't really drive that much. So we didn't get anything from the solar, we didn't get anything from driving. So we had to plug into power, but overall, the solar and driving has been able to top up our batteries. So that's it for our van tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, please ask. More than happy to help, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.